morning. So let's start this day with a prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, and Spirit. Amen. Lord Jesus Christ, please bless my students who are now at their homes. And also, please protect my students who will be getting their modules on Thursday. It's Jesus simply, Amen. Okay, good morning. Isa pa lang. Yeah, share my
Morning, sir.
good morning. So mag-duet tayo karon. So anyways, this morning it's going to be a very important um, lesson because we'll now be starting to make your research in our CC 101. So in lesson number 7, we talked about root cause analysis. I guess I hope that you were able to apply root cause analysis in your life after reading the um, learning module or the instruction material. So very basic lang to know. You have to first experience a problem. So all of us have problems, but you have to pick a problem that is recurring, kumbaga pabalik-balik. Wala siyang feel mo, wala siyang um, solution. So you do the root cause analysis and then figure out what's the root cause of the problem, because according to that particular theory or method, once you know the root cause of your problem, definitely there is a lesser probability that that problem will come back. So yun yung goal. Just like what we're having right now, there are a lot of problems in the world or in the Philippines that already occur even before you were born, even before when I was born. So, anong nangyari? Bakit pabalik-balik sila? Therefore, we can actually say, or could actually safely say that most of the people trying to solve the issue did not perform root cause analysis, or there are some circumstances that they opted not to go to that method. So this time, we're going to elevate the the problem solving strategy. So I'll be discussing to you about the value proposition. But before that, I have to introduce what is this value proposition. Anong naabot na sa value proposition? So I have here, okay, so this is actually a business model canvas. So a business model canvas is some kind of a chart or a bulletin wherein before you are able to um, conduct a business or implement or come up with a business, you have to do business model canvas. This will prepare you from failing in a startup. So, yun yung parang strength ng Davao Central College when it comes to IT. We are actually we're trying to develop students that are not just IT skilled, but also business skilled. So, if IT and business put together, you become a very strong, very competitive person because IT is a business course. So that's why I'm not being biased, but among the four computing degrees, IT is the most flexible because they're not just good in programming, but we are also good in business. So if you have a very nice or a very competitive IT in your business. So it will really help your business to go further. Ah, diba? So, so as you can see, this is a lemonade business model canvas. So lemonade. So although ang Pinoy di ta mahilig sa lemonade, ang United States ng ana, but lemonade, so limoncito, kihimog juice. Sa United States, it's a big deal for them to have a lemonade stand. So if you're a first time business owner of a lemonade stand, what should you do? You have to create a business model for canvas. But before going to the business model canvas, you have to identify first what's the problem. Why is it that you need to come up with a lemonade stand? Kung i-relate natin siya, sa Philippines, it's actually the barbecue stand or the quick stand. So why is it that there is a need for us to put a business na quick and barbecue? Yun. So in this with this kind of method, you're able to know if you do have a customer. So the first thing you have to think is the customer segment here. So based on Kelly's lemonade stand, there are a lot of people visiting the park. So maybe Kelly, the owner of the lemonade stand, um, figured out that in their park, in the park nearby, there are a lot of people, but the people there are looking for something to drink, something refreshing. So that's the problem of those people. So therefore, the problem of the park visitors became an opportunity for Kelly to come up with a lemonade stand. So that's why we do have here the business model canvas for the lemonade stand. But unfortunately, uh, this business model canvas is too advanced for you to go through. Kasi ang dami pa nitong segments. So we'll just be focusing on customer segment and the value proposition. That's why um, we do have this value proposition canvas. I discovered value proposition canvas 2 years ago because it was actually just a lean canvas that I was introduced with. But when I saw this value proposition canvas, it made me realize that it's easier to introduce the business model canvas for by using or um, by tackling or creating the value proposition canvas. So it's a segment from the uh, business model canvas. Uy, hello. Ano ta? Duha. Okay,
Hello, sir.
hi. So excite mo sa business model canvas. Kani siya is just a paper lang ni siya ha. Dili ni siya ingon nga um, computer based. So you can actually buy a Manila paper, you draw the business model canvas. Kani siya Manila paper, pentel pen, and post-it lang ang inyong hapon. But we do first the value proposition canvas. So let's switch from that to this. There. Claro, claro ang value proposition canvas. Okay, I think claro. Silence means yes. So as you can see, the value proposition canvas was made by Star Strategizer. So sila yung gumawa din ng template for the business model canvas. At the top is there is a value proposition canvas, and as you can see, there is a little icon here that is similar to the business model canvas. And what is highlighted is ito, yung customer segments at saka yung value proposition. But as you can see, there are a lot of parang lines connecting to them, but we cannot tackle that as of this moment because we'll be focusing on the value proposition canvas. So you have here the value proposition means to say what is your proposal. So what's your target? Let's say for example, your problem is um, about not having enough money to go to school or to pay for the tuition fee. So that is your problem. Now, your value proposition there should be related to your problem. How are you going to create solution, or what solution are you trying to um, propose for that particular problem to be resolved? So pwede na example, if that is the problem, which is again having issues with money issues in paying tuition fee sa school, then the best thing that you can do is to think of how can I get money to sustain my studies. So first is you need to look for a job. So how are you going to create jobs? So that is now your target, creating jobs. So you can propose a mobile application that can actually look for jobs online or in the vicinity. Now, the question there is that value proposition sustainable? Uubra ba siya or papatok ba siya? So yun na yung gagawin natin for the value proposition. Ano ang dapat gawin para maging sustainable? Sustainability means to say that you are there for the longest time as possible. Now, there are a lot of applications, as we all know, that were so good at the very start, but they vanish, na-annihilate after a year. So, can you give me an application? Type lang ha. Give me an application that was so good at first. They were on the top, but as the time goes by, it was overpowered by similar applications in the market. I'm talking about mobile applications. Can you type one? Yun lang. Yeah. Sige daw. Kani application na grabe siya, hype. Muna yung term no hype. Pero after how many months, years, nawala siya. Na-overpower siya, napulihan siya sa lahat. Friendster. Oh, Friendster, very good. So, kinsa ang nagpuli kay Friendster? FB. Yes, kinsa pa man. Yahoo Mail. And then, kinsa ni puli? Yahoo Mail, Messenger, Gmail. Okay, question now kay Jefferson. Why is it that Friendster diminished or nawala siya and it was overpowered by FB or Facebook? And Facebook is still here after a decade na ba? So, when I was still in college, Facebook is already there. So, more than more than 10 years. So why is it that Facebook still prevails as of this moment? And then every time, or I think majority of the people around the world knows Facebook, and most of the businesses are now on Facebook. There are a lot of people that are dependent on Facebook because of monetizing their videos. So what happened? What do you think is the reason why is it that Facebook is no longer, Friendster is no longer here without? Mm-hmm. Mas the entertainment sa Facebook. This is Friendster. What else? Ikaw, Jeffrey, what can you say about the situation of Friendster being overpowered by Facebook? Daghang platforms on Facebook serve mas accommodate sa mga needs sa tao. In other words, basic nag-fail ang Friendster sa ilang business model. They were so complacent when it comes to their market because during the time that Friendster was still on top, they felt that they are invulnerable. Kumbaga, dili sila matinag because sila na to eh. Kaso, Facebook was, I think, trying to study the market well. Kumbaga, wala sila kampante. They look for something that Friendster cannot actually give. And for me personally, what I love about Facebook is the simplicity. That was before, but now I didn't like the new interface of Facebook because it's lagging, it's not user friendly, it's confusing. Unlike before, I really love that white and blue background. That's it. The simplicity of Facebook really supported my needs. Ganon. So it's just so simple. You post a video, you post your status, and then somebody is going to participate, post their comments and stuff. Then you create a conversation, and then you gain friends, not just here but also gain friends abroad. Then it became lighter. The features of Facebook becomes wider because they were able to not just accommodate the desktop version, they went over to the mobile version, which is accessible to many. So that is how you create business models. So it should not stop there. So going back to the value proposition, in this, the problem here is about wages or about wages of a certain company worker. So yun yung problem dito. Uh, now, the customer segment, of course, is we have here I guess the worker and then their family. So there are two parts of this value proposition canvas. Here, the circle one is the customer profile. So it's all about the customer. So it's under the customer segment. The other one is the value map. It's under the value proposition. What are the solutions that can be given to the customer segments? Now, the main objective here is that they need to have a relationship that is called fit. Fit means that the value proposition or the value map solves or satisfies the customer segments or the customer profile. Pag hindi, misfit ang tawag doon. Okay, so let's try to analyze which part on the value proposition canvas you should address first or do. It should be the customer jobs. So sa customer jobs, first is you have to identify who are the people that are involved in your problem. Let's say, for example, let's go back to the example about tuition fee. Of course, you as a student, your parent, and also your teacher. So tatlo. So the goal of the customer in customer jobs is not just to identify the entities. When you say entities, it's actually more on database there. Entities are the actors or the people involved. So or the things that doing the action, the doer. So you have here three entities or customer because we cannot call them customer because this is we're not putting business here. We're solving a problem. But if in case that the next value proposition canvas is about your business, then we can call them customer. But this time we'll just call it as entity. So you have three entities. You have student, which is you have teacher, you have your parent. Now, what's the job of the or the role or the task of the student? Well, of course, the student is the one who studies at school. The parent is the one who provides the needs of the student. The teacher is the one who is giving the exam and checking the exam and to permit. So yun yung job description nila. In this case, you have here family subsistence, find steady source of income. So I guess this is the part of the worker. Send kids to school. So may family pala siya. Move us to jobs with highly pay. Perform work well. Get enough shifts per week and find enjoyable work. So in this case, this is just for the worker na value proposition. Because technically, for value proposition, one value proposition canvas per customer segment per customer. So, ganon. But in our case, sa ating activity, you have to identify three customer segments in the value proposition. This is for just for activity ha, but technically one value proposition canvas per customer segment or per actor or entity. So ito is para siya sa worker lang. Now, this one medyo positive siya kasi ito man yung dapat niyong gawin. Ito yung task na nakaata sa kanya or naka-assign. But what are the problems now? So, this is now called the pains. Ano ang masakit? So, not enough income. Wala pala siya enough income. So, how can he sustain or provide the family needs or the family's need? Unstable cash flow. Baga, hindi sustainable or hindi consistent yung pasok ng pera. Minsan meron, minsan wala. Minsan marami, minsan kaunti. Limited access to finance due to low credit scores. Ito, and so on and so forth. So in other words, things are the problems for every customer segment. Now, let's now go to the more positive. So, as you can see, pag red, negative, pag green, positive, but it doesn't matter. So sa gains naman, these are the hopes. Ano ba ang gusto nilang mangyari? So as a customer, as a worker, ano ba ang gustong mangyari nila? So ano ba ang dreams and aspirations? So you have here easy to use, helps advance career, increase quality. So all of these are positive. Okay? So gets. Hi there, Marlon, Vincent, and Vincent. So may I know first what have you learned or so far? How did you understand the this area, the customer profile? Can you type your idea or summarize what I've said sa customer profile? Good morning. So again, Burn. Good morning, Burn. Burn is there. So again, can you summarize what I've said about the customer profile? Yes, you do. Because you'll be doing this on your own later, huh? There's a, again, you have to finish your lesson number 7 worksheet because that is connected to your lesson number 8 worksheet. So you cannot do a different, should I say, you cannot create lesson number 8 with a different perspective. It should be a a continuation to the lesson number 7 worksheet. Again, my question is, can you summarize please give the summary of what I've said about customer jobs, pains, and gains. Can you type that in the chat box? Okay, let's start first with customer jobs. What have you understood about customer jobs? Yes, tama. Know the target people. So in other words, even though sa ato ang activity, we're dealing with your problem, but your problem is not just uh, parang ikaw lang ang nakaka-experience. I guess that's the term. There are part of the factors sa problem or impact, should I say, are the people around you. But there are just few. Kumbaga, sino ba yung mga tao na affected or naging contributory sa problem? Yun yung part na ilagay natin sa customer jobs. Example, yun yung teacher, yung ikaw na student, at saka yung parent. What about pains? What do you understood about pain? Ano ba ang pain? Vincent, what is okay, what have you understood about pains? Vincent, please type your views.
Uy, magmas mo Perry, talimod po be, mga kanya po, dami mga donor. Pag-di, minsan sa hotel, high school, sa pinaka, ano naman ako?
Vincent, can you hear me?
Ang tables, ang floor, and everything. Tapos, after na, tapos hindi nyo na, hindi mo magdugay.
So my question is, okay, here's my question.
Ano kaya po mga ito? Hindi na lang siya sawa-sawa. Kaya parang ang tao hindi nagsigilaw ng no? But yun eh. Magawas na sa ito. Magawas na sa espaso. Hindi niya kailangan mo ito. Ang alam na siya. Hindi lang na siya iiyan. Anak ko para anakin mo.
Okay, this is for Vincent. How do you define things in the value preposition canvas? The letters there are just examples, but based on my explanation, what have you understood about pins?
Yes. Kaya 16 na rin sila. So, yung mga price mo, nagawin mo ako muna kay mo, ako muna malaka na siya gawin. So, hindi ko kapasara kung gawin ng mga kasi naman, dahil hindi nag-iis mo ka. Kaya ko naman, natawin mo dito yung mga state na itong ato mga guidelines din. Kasi mas dahil mo daw sila mistake.
Huwag mo mag-isulay. Muna na siya, sir. Solo ka na na, matang pali. Ito! Muna matang pali. Sulay mo sila.
Same na sabihin mo your answer. No, that is not what I've said. Different ang customer jobs ug ang pains. Kanina, ang akong gi-ask kay Jeffer May is about customer jobs. But now, what about customer pains? What is customer pains? Although it's part of the customer profile, but it's different. Okay. Sige, sabon ako ha. Background noise, no? Sige, sabon ako. Ang customer jobs is actually the task or the description of the involved personalities in the customer segment. So you have to identify first who are those people, and then identify their task. Kung sabay lang involvement.
After class na to. Pabungog bang buhay na klase ko.
Sa involvement nila sa
Ay, makapagay na
ilahang
Sige ma, ako na yung tapuso na lang.
dira sa problem or sa business. In your case, it should be the involvement dito sa problema or participation.
Grabe lang alam niya. Move on sa mga
Yan.
research.
So, sa men. Laro na ang customer jobs. Laro na kung tingog. Not necessarily negative. Sa customer jobs, wala pa yung negative ha. Kuhan pala na siya. Kana inuha lang yung participation. Kumbaga, for example, sa problema nimo regarding the tuition fee, unsa ba si teacher, unsa ba ka, estudyante, unsa da imuhang job di ay. It's actually to go to school, to study. Tapos si teacher, siya ang nag-check sa sa imuhang performance, nag-check po sa imong permit. Si parent ang nagabayad dapat sa tuition fee o sa imong needs. Nag-provide sa imong needs. So, mo to siya ang sa customer jobs. Dili pa siya negative. Kumbaga, the normal na trabaho. Pero si pains, muna na siya ang negative part or the problem. Unsa ba ang specific na problem na connected sa jobs or sa isa ka entity. For example, katong problem na to baliktahan, katong inyong tuition fee. Nag-study ka as student, ikaw ang nag-attend sa eskwelahan. Now, your pain now is you cannot take examination. You cannot participate in the online discussion. No prepaid load or no internet, something like that. So, muto siya ang problema. Pero involved dito or connected siya sa imuhang task. Dito sa katungkuan katong sa parenthood, wala siya trabaho or dili enough yung trabaho, dili enough ilahang kita ang cash flow. Sumuto siya ang sa pains. Si teacher po, napo siya pains because kaya man kabayad ang estudyante, pwedeng wala siya sweldo or ma-delay ihang work kay daghan ang mag-take of special exam. Ana siya ha. So, the pains should be connected to the jobs sa kada customer or kada entity. Gets? Gets niya. Sige. So, medyo masayo na siya, no? Kay kanang kuan naman siya, kaning ino man siya dissect ang problem. Pero, ang gains po is muna siya ang hopes and dreams sa isa ka estudyante or sa inyo estudyante, sa teacher, or sa katong parent. Pwedeng ang hope sa estudyante is continuous iyang pag-eskwela. Nya, kato siya. So, muna hopes and dreams, medyo positive siya. Sa imuhang job, connected yapon siya sa imong job description. Or job description sa imong customer jobs.
Sir Brian. Una na po si Sir Brian. Yes, ako po. Wala na ako na. Kapatid,
Sige, sige,
ang
ulit ko ha.
stage na Brian, Sir Brian, Sir Brian.
Sabon ako ha. Ang gains, kay muni siya ang sige, sige. I-type na ko.
Ay, isa, iPad ko. So, si Brian, ang grade. Sabi ng ano ay, bata ba ang mata? Morning, blah, 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 blah. Sabi ng Pinunod ba itong hard data? Amo ano ni Dam? Pinunod ba yung may hard disease yun? Ano daw siya daw? Pag-chat niya sa akin. Sa Saturday. Ay, may phone. Kaya tinanong kami siya kung saan nakakain siya para makita. Ano siya? Hindi ba nakakain kami sa live na? Pero yung wala din siya na-mention sa amin na may sakit in their family. Ang na-mention na lang sa akin, on the previous day, sabi ko, ang lola na talaga, pinatake care nila ngayon, pinatake para
I'm so sorry for the background noise ha. Sige. Okay. Again, ang gains should be connected sa customer jobs. So let's say for example, ang job sa estudyante is to go to school. So part sa imuhang gains is to finish school. Kung 4 years siyang course, it should be 4 years. Pwede po ni imuha pong kuan, gains po nimo is to graduate na walay utang. Kana. Si parenthood is, iya pong gains is pwede po siya nga makapag-graduate o anak. Kana. So, it's more on the hopes and dreams sa isa ka customer segment. It should be related to the customer job. So in other words, sa customer profile, dito sa customer jobs, gidefine nato ang kinsa ang ma-involve na tao as well as their jobs. Tapos, dito sa things, i-define na to ang ilahang problems that are connected to every customer job. So, pwede nga isa customer job, daghan siya og pains. That is possible. But make it sure na inyo siya ibutang in a phrase or short lang jud na sentence. Dili siya i-paragraph. Kay, as you all know, gamay kayo ang value preposition canvas. So, if you're doing it sa digital copies of worksheet, you can just insert a text box. But for those na home study, you have to write it legibly, small ang font. Yeah. So, si gains food is the kumbaga hopes and dreams or mga wants. Kumbaga, sa Bisaya pa, unta. Kanya. Ang kay ani siya ha, pag si customer jobs, muni akong mga gusto, ay muni akong trabaho rather. Ang pains, mag-start ka pero dili na ko siya ma-perform tungod kay na ana siya problema. Kani nga problema. Ang kay gains code is unta in ani. Ano ka simple. So, you have to establish your customer profile, Jude, before you can make the value proposition. Medyo masayon ang value proposition compared to the customer profile because the value proposition or the value map is somehow solutions to every segments. So many. So first is the pain relievers. Pain relievers, muna siya ang answer or solution sa kada pains. So you have now to address, for example, ang iyahang pain dere is not enough income. Ang imuha dere is improved prospects of higher income. So in other words, magpa-promote ka or find a better job. So, muto siya ang iyahang suggestion. Now, this, kanina sa pain relievers, di pa kani siya ingon somehow technical. Di pa ni siya ingon computerized. Not to that point pa dyan. It's still going to be pain relievers, pero practical lang siya na solution for the pains. And because if you're going to develop a mobile application addressing to a common problem, you have to develop first solutions that are reachable, kumbaga doable siya. Kaya siya i-solve without any technology. So technology is just going to support those solutions. Now, for the gains naman, these are actually the, kumbaga, how are you going to achieve those hopes and dreams? So let's say if it's easy to use, we have here regular collect managers check and feedback on work. So kanan siya. So kanin siya, I can actually say that it's somehow a little bit of kanan technology based or practical. So dili na siya magsugod ang inyong proposal. Now, if you have these two, the gain creators and the pain relievers, you can now proceed to your products and services. Now, this one is it's a more technical na part. So, kumbaga, pag nanaka gain creators, you have your pain relievers. So, if you're going to present this to the public or to the customer, how it should look like. So, unsa ba jud ang dagway sa imuha i-present na solution? So, you have three solutions here. You have pain relievers, that's the direct solution for each pain. You have gain creators, these are the solutions or the way that the gains can be achieved. So, duha na. Dagdagan pa yun nato og products and services. This is actually the interface of your solution. How it should going to be presented, or what is the face, or what's the interface of your solution. So in here, it's a mobile app, it's a website, it's access to job posting, and so on and so forth. Nagets? Sigabe, can you ask any question regarding the value proposition canvas? So still have a lot of time. Still almost 9:30. Has still have around 30 minutes for the end of our class. So if you can turn on your microphone, why not? Vincent is typing. And Jefferson, do you want to say something? As sir, kung ang gains, bakit pwede ba both customer or entities? Yes. Actually, sa gains, medyo general na siya. It could be because there are some gains na can be shared by one or more. In what way? For example, si parent o si student, ang ilahang gains is gusto makagraduate ang estudyante o ang parent po gusto makapag-graduate ng estudyante. There are both somehow connected na siya. Yan. So, if ang estudyante makagraduate, happy po si parent. So sa gains, it doesn't really matter kung daghan kay siya gains, gusto, pwede siya nga gamay lang siya gains for as long as solid siya, kumbaga rate ka ng doable, kaya siya i-achieve. And then, mabalaan man yun na kung kaya siya i-achieve, kay hindi siya mawala dito sa imuhang concept sa problem nimo. Remember, you only need to identify or use one problem for this activity. So therefore, hindi siya pwede ma-fire out. Focus lang sa isa. So mga siguro, as you can also observe, diri sa to ang example, there are a lot of pains but lesser na ang gains. And do not be confused regarding pain relievers and gain creators, ha? Again, pain relievers are directly addressing the pains. So therefore, para di mo ma-confuse, do not duplicate an entry sa pains dito sa gains. There should be different. Para pag abos sa pain relievers, mo direkta lang siya og answer or solve dito sa pains. While si game creators, dito lang siya mo answer or mo address sa gains nimo. So, ang difference po sa gain creators o sa pain relievers, mas short-term na solution ang pain relievers. Kumbaga, pina-abrupt. While ang gain creators, long-term siya na solution. Kumbaga, it takes more steps before siya ma-achieve. Or sometimes, it will take years or a certain development. So, pwede yung maging wild sa gains. Time yun kada sa gains na I wanted to become the summa cum laude. I want to achieve summa cum laude na status sa graduation. Now, di man na makaya in just 1 year. So, you should work it out for 4 years. So, medyo kwan siya, no? Medyo taas-taas siya. So, dito siya sa gains. So, lahi po siya po the solution because it's not a problem actually. Ang sa gains are not problems, but actually, it's what you want. Unlike sa pains, problema jud siya. Sige, so may question. Sige. Were you still thinking of your questions or inquiries or clarifications? I have to announce this one that your your midterm examination will do it in our VLE. So I will create a section in the VLE under examination. Now you have to make sure that your permit is updated up to the third exam because remember that you have to post your permit and you upload your permit, examination permit, the screen capture to your Google Drive folder. So only those students that were able to comply with the three examinations can be enrolled in the VLE examination. Mm. Lalo na ha, even sa home study. So if the home study will review this video, all of you will answer or input your output or input or answer it your examination in our VLP. Sige. So this afternoon, I'll be posting or uploading our worksheet number 8 and it will also be included in the distribution of instruction materials this Friday for home study. So I'll be releasing lessons 5, 6, 7, and 8. 9 is for your examination. So I'll be announcing the date for the distribution for lesson number 9 next week. Okay, so I guess you don't have any more questions. So, that's my okay. So, please answer your worksheets 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's due on Wednesday, October 28th. So, please lang ha. Tawag naman si consequence kung mali. May deduction 5 points every day. So, grabe din ang extension. So, if that would be all, thank you so much for attending the class and stay safe. Bye-bye.